Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of Into the Void. This is a game between ItzDaddy and Long on Abyssal Reef, the latter edition. In the top left side of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is ItzDaddy. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Long. These names together remind me of Daddy Longlegs, which are just spiders with little bodies and long legs. I'm pretty sure you call them something different, because I talked to somebody about it and they had no idea what Daddy Longlegs were. Alright, so a PvT here at the silver level. If you're unfamiliar with Into the Void, this is my weekly examination of Bronze and Silver League level replays sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. If you're at that level of StarCraft, you'd like to see one of your games cast, send it to that address. I'll have my screeners give them a quick once-over, and we'll get them put up on the channel if it is deemed a good enough replay to post. So yeah, we're just here for fun. We're here to kind of see what's going on in the lower levels of StarCraft these days. Again, this lower level stuff is not the lower level stuff you remember back when StarCraft 2 was new. These people have general ideas of build orders, general concepts of macro. Whether or not they can actually do them, whether they can execute their plans or not, is kind of where they get stuck in Bronze and Silver. Look at that, instant cyber core after the gateway's done from ItzDaddy, so not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Going for the barracks here is Long. What's Long going to go for? Long is going to go for something. And maybe not a Reaper. Reapers are a little bit scary. They take a lot of micro. And at this silver level, it's kind of not something you can take for granted, as these players have a lot of micro. Second refinery done for Long, though. Going for additional barracks here. And is getting a Reaper. Oh! Giant liar. I thought for sure this would be Marines, but he's feeling confident today. He's feeling like a Reaper is the way to go. He probably watches a lot of high-level StarCraft 2 and says, you know what? You know what I need? Is I need to go Reapers. Alright, this, holy shamoly. This is going to be Jackson Raynor, the cousin of the infamous Jim Raynor. For many years, he and Jim worked together in the wastes off Marsara and various other colonies, raiding supply convoys, Confederate installations, anything they could get their hands on. Boop. The very mention of their name struck fear into the civilians of Marsara and neighboring colonies until one day they were captured by Confederate forces. After being imprisoned, Jackson and Jim planned their escape. They bided their time, and when the opportunity presented itself, they took it. But during the escape, they were seen, and as they ran, they could taste freedom, but the guards were closing in on them. In the blink of an eye, Jackson slipped over, screaming to Jim to save him. Jim stopped, stunned at what had happened. He prepared to turn around, but it was already too late. He knew he had to make a choice, and he chose to run. Alright, this Reaper is going to get some probe kills. I feel it in my bones here. Come on, get some probe kills. Oh, and Adept's out. No, run. Never mind. Get out of there. Go down the ramp. Don't die to this Adept. Oh, way to get out of there. As Jim escaped, Jackson screamed out for help, but his screams fell upon deaf ears, and Jackson was recaptured. Jackson went on to spend the next 4 years in prison, full of hatred of Jim for his betrayal. He plotted to take revenge and made a promise to himself to one day exact that revenge. One faithful day, he was sitting in his cell when he was suddenly freed by the ambitious man named Arcturus Mengsk. This man promised him his freedom in return for his service in the military. Jackson was hesitant at first, so he refused and was sent to a Dominion prison, till one day he saw on the news that Jim Raynor had been branded a terrorist by the very man who sprung him that one faithful day. In his sudden rampage of passion, he slammed himself at his cell door, demanding to speak to Arcturus Mengsk. The guards laughed at him, but then he said, "I have information on Jim Raynor." And within the hour, he was freed and sent to the Emperor's throne room. Not too long after that, he had accepted the original offer. Coming back into the Protoss base, this is the longest Reaper name story of all time. Get a probe kill. Oh, he gets one! He gets a probe kill. Reaction time, not amazing here. Out of our Protoss player, he has an expansion, but he's not running. There's the photon overcharge, though. Mothership core comes into the main. And Jackson's body flies up there. We'll finish the story anyway. Quick immortal from ItzDaddy, actually. Accepted the original offer, but he was no ordinary soldier. Given his understanding of Raynor and his many years spent as an outlaw, he was to be a part of a newly formed, highly secretive elite Reaper program. Here, he would promise to see his plans through and to exact revenge upon the very man he once trusted his life to. Woo! Alright, so that's Jackson's story. He's dead already. He did get a probe kill, though, so that's very nice. Actually, he got 2 probe kills. I apologize, Jackson. I'm maligning your memory there. Blink being researched by the Protoss player as well. Back in Terran land, we've got Marines, we've got tanks. We're double pumping Marines with reactors. We are upgrading the stim as well here, getting a Marauder at the same time. So actually doing a lot of good things. The timings maybe aren't the greatest, but that's okay. Learning how to do good things is your first step. Observer coming out for ItzDaddy, trying to see what's going on in Terran land. I don't think he has scouted at all yet. Oh, he has scouted. Actually, did he send a... must have probe scouted at some point. He has a lot of information about Long's base. That is a starport on the way, getting +1 attack for his bio as well. So Long is doing what he needs to do in order to win this game. We, in fact, do have more gateways on the way for ItzDaddy. Got 2 warp gates inside the natural base already. Got an Immortal, got an Adept, got Stalkers, got Mothership Core for Photon Overcharge. Patrolling back and forth as the Mothership Core, really worried about more attacks possibly coming into his base sometime soon. And this is about the timing for drops. However, the starport is not even done yet for Long, which means we're not going to have any medevacs anytime soon. Also, this tank, it's covering this attack path from the top, not really helping with this front door, which is what this other tank is going to be for. Is he not upgraded? He hasn't upgraded his natural command center to either a planetary fortress or a, oh my goodness, or an orbital command. Wow, I saw this warp prism, my brain was like, wait, warp prism coming from ItzDaddy. Coming on down, probably to the main base, based on this flight path. I'm gonna maybe warp in some adepts, gonna have several warp gates available to do stuff. Although these are gateways that have not been upgraded to warp gates yet. There we go, Stargate warping in as well, and more Immortals out of ItzDaddy. So it's 41 to 40 harvesters. Our ItzDaddy is definitely in the lead, but just barely at this point. This is pretty close. This is pretty close for this level of StarCraft. Warp Prism really considering coming in here and doing some stuff, and there is a nice area in this mineral line where there's nobody close to defend. Long's response time is going to have to be good to save a lot of his SCVs, unless ItzDaddy hangs out here too long and gets spotted by something else. I don't know what would spot him, though. I mean, everybody's rallying down to the natural base. And going for a third base is Long now. All right, good. I'm liking that timing. Oh, third base warping in from ItzDaddy as well. Look at these guys go. They're doing pretty much the same thing. 77 to 87 supply. Long has a bit of a lead, and here is a big warp in of Adepts. They have resonating glaives. They do not get in there, kill some SCVs. Oh, reaction time by Long is actually pretty great. They get here just as soon as the Adepts arrive inside the mineral line, and they're all going to die. Get out of there, Adepts. Try to sonic transfer away. One does manage to just cancel the transfer. Cancel the transfer. Oh, cancels the transfer. Killing these SCVs here inside the main base. It is 3 shots to kill them, as there are no attack upgrades on this Adept yet, and then she gets destroyed by the rest of the army. So what did we lose here? Several Adepts. 5 Adepts lost for 4 SCVs. Probably not a great trade for ItzDaddy, but killing SCVs and putting some fear of Protoss into the Terran is always a good idea. Missile turret under construction by Long here on the north side of his main, recognizing, you know what, that came from somewhere, and a missile turret should be enough to chase him away. Stargate is making an Oracle. I still don't have any Oracle names, though. Waiting on those to come in. We'll get them soon enough. Don't you worry about that. Robotics Bay on the way from ItzDaddy. And additional supply depots on the way from Long. Whew, apologize for these small delays in this cast. I have some crazy heartburn today. Had Mexican food for lunch, and generally doesn't do that to me this bad, but feeling it for sure. Dark Shrine warping in. Where is it? Dark Shrine warping in. There it is inside the main base for ItzDaddy. He's kind of being allowed to do whatever he wants. The Terran player has only really sent that Reaper out. Otherwise, it's been pretty quiet from the blue side of the base here, or blue side of the map. Starport does have 2 medevacs out on the field. That's very, very nice. +1 attack done for the Marines. They do not have the combat shield working on it, though. It's in that production tab. And extended thermal lance coming in for ItzDaddy, as well as the Templar Archives. So yeah, he wants to get all of the tech for Protoss, and I can't blame him. Some of the best Protoss players get all of the tech and then kind of choose and pick what they want to use at any given time. Missile turret shooing that warp prism away. You could probably still... Oh, there are extra missile turrets back here behind this mineral line for Long, though, so that's not good news. Armory is upgrading +1 vehicle weapons for Long. And another warp in of Adepts here at the third base. Great reaction time from Long, pulling his SCVs out. One coming in anyway, though, but picking up and retreating as ItzDaddy, recognizing an army is probably going to kill him. And then thinking about bouncing into the main, and then remembering, oh, right, there are a ton of missile turrets here. Never mind. Never you mind. Additional barracks on the way. Long is trying to spend all of his money. He's not supply blocked. He's got a lot of money in the bank, but his production tab shows no active units being produced. This is something you always want to be making units. I like what Long is doing, continuing to make production facilities as he starts to get additional bases. That's exactly what you want to do. but you actually have to use them too, which is kind of half of the equation here. Do we actually have any DTs on the field? The answer is no Dark Templar and no High Templar either. Oh, just warp some DTs in. Where though is the question of the day. Where are these DTs? Did I imagine that? Or are they dead? Units lost. Oh yeah, they're dead. Wow, did he try to warp them in here and they got murdered, or did he cancel the warping? Something like that. I don't know. Either way, I'm liking all these missile turrets. From Long, they're shutting down this attempt at harassment by ItzDaddy pretty darn effectively. And hey, if you can avoid losing stuff by using static defense, I'm all over that. Void Rays on the way. Colossus on the way, which makes sense because Extended Thermal Lance is done. Also, Storm being researched by our Protoss player. Both players sitting on 3 bases. It is 58 to 59 harvesters. Long has a bit of a lead here. Is he still not? He has not upgraded his 3rd base in orbital command either. His 4th base is now on the way here, on the low ground, just outside of his natural. And just kind of hanging out, both of these dudes. We might speed this one up just a little bit here. Just tap it up. 4th base coming in from ItzDaddy as well. Are they reading each other's minds? Their 3rd base timings and 4th base timings have been pretty much identical in this game, which is really very interesting for sure. All right, so Colossus here from ItzDaddy. It's got itself the not the Purifier skin, because that one is shinier. This one is the other skin from the Legacy of the Void campaign. It is the Alarak skin. Whatever the Alarak Protoss are, I cannot think for myself right now. I have no idea what they're called. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me. And then I will feel like, oh, right, that's exactly what that is. More Void Rays. And more Colossus getting an Observer. Did he lose his Observer? No, just wants another one. That's fine. ItzDaddy can have another Observer if he wants. Not a problem. 4th base is done for Long, mining very happily. 4th base is done for ItzDaddy, mining very happily. Protoss player moving out. Got his High Templar in the back, got his Stalkers in the front, got his Colossus here as well, got some Void Rays. Just looking like a pretty darn good army. Really great composition from ItzDaddy here. Let's see if he can do anything with it here at the 13-minute mark. Gonna go pretty much up to the front door of the Terran player. Terran player coming to meet him. And here we go. Pretty good micro here. Pulling back is Long. He's got Thors in his army, though. That's pretty amazing. Also working on +3 attack. Nice Storm. Psionic Storm weakening those Marines immensely. Another great Storm here. Oh, just melting this bio in conjunction with the Colossus. The Thor's getting some nice shots off. Mothership Core does die. One of the Colossus fall there as well. Is it enough to hold on? Tanks getting beautiful hits. And the tanks saving Long's life there. It doesn't have these tanks. I think he might just straight up lose the game. The Thor is also pretty darn important. 3 kills there on that one. 1 kill on that one. And heading home is ItzDaddy. He's got 5 kills on 1 Colossus and 6 on the other one, making some Archons out of his High Templar that are out of energy. Those Storms, though, were really good. Really good Storms for Silver, for sure. Transfer some of his probes from his main base to his 4th base, as they have 2 mineral fields that they're working from, almost out. Also 3 idle probes. Here it is a simulator. Again, the idle probes thing in the top left here. You got to check this every once in a while and see what idle workers you have so you can put them to work. An idle worker is nobody's friend in the StarCraft 2 land. So just kind of hanging at his 4th base here. Long is the least aggressive Terran player I've ever seen, and as soon as I say that, I think he's moving out. He heard me. He's like, Falcon called me non-aggressive. I'll show him. I'll be super aggressive. These medevacs, wow, a lot of medevacs. 10 medevacs flying around for how many Marines? 35 Marines and 4 Marauders get 10 medevacs. They're going to be healed up. That is for sure. Also, check this out. +2 attack is done. +3 attack finishing up at 14 minutes for Long. That has got to be the fastest +3 attack I've seen in Into the Void. 100% for sure. Going for a 5th base is ItzDaddy. Is that a 5th base? That is a 5th base. Still 4 for the Terran player, but this 5th base in a lot of trouble here. If Long decides to knock down, he's going to knock down these rocks. He's going to come in with his Thors. He's going to come in with his Marines. He's got Vikings in the sky as well to deal with those Colossus. Excellent choice from our Terran player. +3 vehicle weapons being researched by Long as well. Holy shamoly. All right, fleet beacon coming in from ItzDaddy, but this 5th base is in a lot of trouble. Get it. Save the 5th base. You're not even responding. All right. That hurts. I'm not sure where the attention was elsewise for ItzDaddy, but this army's feeling pretty confident from Long, marching right up to the 3rd base. Trying to kill some of these warp gates, getting some shots off on this Mothership Core. These Thors, man, doing a lot of damage from the ground to the air. Mothership Core is dead. Another one is dead. Storms again, blanketing a lot of these Terran units, but dodging backwards better this time is Long. Much better this time. And he is still alive. He didn't lose his Marines that time. I can tell you this much. Colossus 7 kills, 2 kills, 10 kills. Archons should probably be in the front, but pretty good concave here from the Colossus. Oh, and from the Stalkers. The Storms are just absolutely eating this Terran player alive. Thor trying to stutter step back, gets destroyed. Thor trying to rally in as well, getting shot by everything. There aren't actually any Immortals, which would be pretty good here against the Thors, but the Stalkers and the Archons and the Colossus get the job done. 15 kills on that one Colossus. Doing pretty good so far. No upgrades whatsoever. The upgrade battle for Long is going pretty well, though. I mean, he's got upgrades for his Marines. He's got upgrades for his ground units here. He's got upgrades for his flying units as well. And I just don't see any upgrades at all for the ground units, at least 0, 0, 0 across the board for ItzDaddy. Probably should invest some money in that, but counterattack coming on in. Again, the tanks causing massive problems here. Good Storms on the bio. It's you got to get rid of those tanks some way, and somehow blinking on top of them to kill them. But this just means that the Colossus are left alone. The Vikings take them down. The Thor is dead. The Marauder is dead. Pretty good army from ItzDaddy here, picking Vikings out of the sky, trying to get rid of Marines as well. This Zealot having a great time. 3 kills on him, and this 4th base by Long is actually mostly evacuated at this point in time. Take down the SCVs. Go for the guaranteed damage. There we go. Guaranteed damage. SCVs are gone. 3 or 4 of them. That's going to be 11 probes killed to 11 SCVs killed. Pretty darn even at this point in the game. And the 4th base by Long really should be lifted up and retreated here. That's kind of how this works. But doesn't actually bother lifting up and retreating. Tank on the high ground. Coming up this ramp is ItzDaddy. I don't know about that. He wants to kill that tank so bad, but the tank refuses to die. And with reinforcements from Marines and Marauders, the army for ItzDaddy is gone. Terran player getting rid of the rocks, opening up his own ramp leading into his natural base, which is fun. Excuse me. Taking a 4th base, replacement 4th base is Long. I think this was intended to be a 5th. But, oh no, he is replanting his 4th, and his 5th base is done. Okay, so replanting the 4th, 5th base is done here. No sign of a 5th base from ItzDaddy, feeling a little bit apprehensive here. He was a little gas starved for a while. Now he's mineral starved. Where does he need to be mining from? Getting more probes here at his 4th base will be helpful. I think for sure. His natural base is pretty much done. Main base done. 3rd base getting there. Little shiny mineral patches under, under 400 minerals on those. So definitely needs this 5th at the 18-minute mark of this game. Absolutely, 100% for sure. Carrier production has begun for ItzDaddy, though. Liking that, and making a lot of Immortals here. That's where his money went. Okay, if you queue up this many Immortals, it sucks a lot of money out of your bank and into this robotics facility and just waits and sits there and does not accrue interest. Does not accrue interest. So what I would rather you be doing here is making another carrier with a 2nd Stargate instead of the Stargate doing nothing. And the robotics facility, is he supply blocked? Why is this stuck at 39? This is weird. Did my replay freak out? Why is this stuck at 39 out of 39? My replay interface might be freaking out here, you guys. I've never seen this before. You can't pause it. This one going to finish? 39 out of 39. Yeah, that Immortal comes right out. Is this a bug? Or is there nowhere? Oh, can this guy not get out? Is there literally nowhere for this Immortal to come out of this robotics facility? Oh, goodness. I'm going to post this to the StarCraft Reddit subreddit and see what they have to say. This makes a lot of sense. I think he needs to get rid of this Templar Archives, I guess. Insane. All right. Anyway, we do have carriers, which is nice. Getting Graviton Catapult, that is an upgrade for your carriers for sure, increasing or decreasing the launch time on those interceptors. And is that a 6th base from ItzDaddy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bases for ItzDaddy and 5 bases happily up and mining here for Long. He has no interest in going for planetary fortresses or orbital commands. So pro tip from Falcon Paladin, make these outer lying bases planetary fortresses. They're easier to defend. They probably could have saved that 4th base if it was a PF in that previous battle. Just some suggestions. Observer from ItzDaddy moves out, accidentally scouts the entire army here for Long. +3, +2 on these dudes, working on +3 armor now. Getting +2 vehicle and ship plating. The upgrades are so important here, but the carriers are here. How many Vikings are in the air, rather? 2 Vikings in the air. As soon as he sees more carriers, he's probably going to want to get some more of those. 100%. All right, coming into the 6th base of ItzDaddy, doing some good damage, but running away as the Protoss army shoos him away there. 6th base on the way for Long. Up along this right side now during this attack. I like this expanding while attacking idea. Big time fan For sure. Tanks setting up with +3 attack, 85 damage versus armored units, which is what Nexuses are. Not just units, armored anything. ItzDaddy has to make a decision. Do you let this die, or do you try to save it? Not quite sure what to do, but he does have the storm. A lot of bio here. Save some of the storms for this bigger group. And there are immortals. They're doing a great job against the tanks. The tanks are all gone. Storms against all of these Marines, though, just blanketing top to bottom. It's a nice concave, but the storms are good here as well. Carriers getting destroyed by Vikings and Marines. Any storms available? Templar, get out. There's 2 more storms. Walking into them pretty well here is Long. Last Colossus gone. Carrier desperately trying to kill stuff. No, gets killed by the Marines on the ground. Templar, turn yourselves into Archons. Turn yourselves into Archons. Colossus trying to get rid of these dudes by itself. I just feel like if these Colossus had upgrades, that would have been a much different battle from ItzDaddy. But he did save his 6th base. He did send the Terran player home in disgrace there. Yeah, this is actually amazing. 30 down to 39. Can't get out. Can't get out. Carriers still in production. Do we have Vikings on the way from Long? Is he even worried about it? No, he doesn't have any, nor is he producing any. He's still just going for Marines here, which I feel like is a mistake, but it's kind of something of a panic move. If I had to qualify it as something, I would say it's probably a panic move. It's just like, oh shoot, there's a big army out there. There's Colossus out there. I better make something. Let's make Marines. They're good against everything. Big old warping of adepts from ItzDaddy, though. He went from having, I think, no adepts to 11 right there. It's a lot of warp gates he's got, and it is 11s. That makes sense. Makes a ton of sense. This thing's still killing me. I'd like to exit, but I can't. I cannot. Adepts going after some of these reinforcing Marines. Actually, just not attacking them at all. There we go. Now attacking them. Do they have resonating glaives yet? They do. All right, that's great. And +1 attack is done. Oh, the Marines left them alone. Why did you leave? Oh, they sonic transferred out of there. They had free reign on this 4th base of Long, and they sonic transferred their way back on home. Bummer. Bummer of a time. 7th base on the way from Long. He is feeling confident. So confident. Disruptors on the way. Stalkers on the way. Carriers on the way from ItzDaddy. Disruptors at this level of StarCraft are pretty interesting, I would say here. So there we go. Big old attack again. Marines just getting eaten by these storms and the Colossus. So many Marines have died, you guys. How many? 276 Marines have been killed. Their bodies ashes drifting into the sky because this is Abyssal Reef, the latter edition. But spending his money pretty well here is Long. He's got 63 workers. His money is under 200 minerals. He's pretty well saturating all of his bases. He's got all these basics down here, but he keeps making Marines against a storming Colossus Protoss player, which is just, it strikes me as a difficult decision. It's going to be very difficult for him to win this thing if he keeps doing this with his 14 Marines at a time. Or at least do hit and runs, right? Pick up, drop, abuse the immobility of the Colossus, make the carriers too slow to catch you. Disruptors as well have a hard time catching up. And they still do 145 damage. Splash, which is enough, definitely enough to one-shot a Marine and enough to one-shot a Marauder as well if you can hit those. Small group, here we go. Small drop here against the 6th base, but Purification Nova getting rid of several of those Marines. Medevac does manage to escape with 20 hit points to her name. Pushing up the middle now while the army's a little bit distracted. At that 6th base is Long. Is he going to get in there? Is he going to get in there and do some of the damage that he really, really wants to do? The answer is maybe. Maybe yes, maybe no. Yeah, he's going for it. He's going for this 4th base from ItzDaddy. The army's slow to respond, but not actually allowing all of his units to attack here, which is a bit of a rookie move. You want to get in as close as you can. Again, another attack directly attacking into Storms and Colossus. And just losing Marines like it's going out of style here. Still Colossus dying, getting focused down. The Storm's trying to keep it alive. A lot of medevacs dying here as well. Look at this, killing carriers. This is what upgrades do, you guys. Fully upgraded Marines can withstand Colossus attacks way better than they should be able to. Archon gets destroyed. 4th base again under direct assault here by Marines and Marauders. Tank splash on top of these Zealots. They have charge. They want to kill the tank first of all, and then want to kill the rest of these biological units. Carrier trying to kill medevacs before they can escape. Doing a pretty good job of it. Yeah, woo, getting rid of that one very, very nicely. Carriers just zapping away at these Marines as they come ever so close. Ever so closer to the army. So again, Both players winning or losing with just very few units remaining, very few hit points remaining in general. 147 to 120 total supply. Long. Feels like my fully upgraded Marines are good enough against this dude who does not want to get that many upgrades. He's got +1 ground attack. He's got +2 flyer attack, though. Okay. All right. That's going to be good. Pushing in again here at this 4th base, and Mothership's in. Oh, cloaking these ground units. Mothership absorbing a lot of these shots. She's going to die, but it's giving the carriers enough time to burn everything else down, sacrificing herself, not to the point of death. But she does take a lot of damage, about 600 points of damage there. But her children are safe, and that's what the Mothership Core is all about here. Going again, Long continuing to make 14 Marines at a time. Some Marauders mixed in if he can be bothered to get those as part of this. 18 medevacs have been killed, 370 Marines have died, 3 carriers, 10 Immortals, 49 Stalkers, 35 Adepts, and 6 Sentries. I don't think we've seen a Sentry in a while out of ItzDaddy, and it's a very heavy micro unit. Hard. Someone's got to kill a base at this point, is I think what we have to do. 1 Nexus has died in this game, and 1 Command Center. Why doesn't it show? The 1 Command Center that died. That's interesting. Production, or units lost tab might be broken here. Just a little bit. All right, so ItzDaddy pushing out with his Mothership, feeling a little bit more confident than he's felt in the past here. Coming on top of this Terran army. Are there scans? No, the scans are missing it. Purification Nova! Big time hit there on some of those Marauders. Mothership does end up getting killed, but Marines standing in. Now they can see their enemy. Look at them go! Immortals taking direct shots to the face. Disruptors are on cooldown. Carriers forced to retreat. Big warping of Zealots here. Going to try to charge onto these units and destroy them. And there we go. Kind of aborting the charge, though. A little bit of ItzDaddy. A lot of Interceptors have died, too. 107 Interceptors have been killed in this game. More Colossus on the way from ItzDaddy. I feel like if he didn't have this blocked up robotics facility, he'd have more units. He would. I guarantee he'd have more units. Long pushing it again. Just killing Interceptors with his Marines. Zealots trying to do what they can, but not taking too much damage. Big old Purification Nova, though. Several Marines get killed. There are only 2 or 3 remaining. The Zealots having a pretty good time. They want to take down these tanks that have joined the party a little bit late as well. They're going to get them. Or the carrier finishes it off anyway. Medevacs getting shot up as they try to retreat. Interceptors pretty good at killing those things. What are we lost? Oh, we're lost to 22 medevacs have been killed right now. That is not a small number. That is not even close to a small number. Robotics facility continuing to make Colossus, which, okay. I mean, do we have, what are the upgrades at right now? Still have the +1. Still have the +1. +3 would be incredible, but I mean, so far you're not dead, so we'll roll with that. Long continuing to do this thing, man. 14 Marines at a time. A medevac making some Vikings here to get rid of these carriers. 3 kills, 14 kills, 21 kills, and 10 kills on the carriers. Disruptor has 21 kills. Splash damage is where it's at. Pushing in again is Long. Coming in, dying immediately is the Colossus. Oh, the Disruptor hits miss. The Disruptor hits miss. Run, retreat, Disruptors, get out of there. Oh no, Stalker's getting murdered as well. Oh, Adepts trying to do what they can against these Marines, but again, the upgrades are not incredible. Zealots absorbing shots, allowing the Adepts to actually do damage. And Long forced to pull back. Forced to pull back. More Colossus on the way. Keeps losing Colossus. 7 Colossus have been killed in this game. We're looking at 42,000 resources lost for the Protoss, and 40, is that 42? It's exactly 42 for Long as well. More minerals lost for the Terran and more gas lost for ItzDaddy. That makes sense. Zealots trying to come in. Purification Nova. Big time explosion. So much Terran blood on the ground right there. Long has got to be feeling like, man, these Disruptors are good. More Marines marching in by themselves. No, pulling back to regroup with their friends. I mean, so much. This is like Gettysburg right here. This is the field of just death and decay and blood and destruction. What is this? Is this 7th base for ItzDaddy? 7th base up top, 8th base. Got another one coming in for Long here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th base for Long as well. These players, if no one's going to attack our expansions, they say, then I think we'll be just fine. Zealot. All right, I mean, what are we even looking at here? 59 Marines, 3 Marauders, 2 tanks, 4 Vikings, 3 carriers, 10 Adepts, 4 Stalkers, 6 Zealots. I mean, it's just not a lot from either of these players. 163 to 180 Total supply. ItzDaddy has the bigger army, but sneaking around here is Long. Finding a Nexus up top. I think this is the 6th base from ItzDaddy, and it is going to fall. No real saving it this time. Too many Marines. Too good at the upgrades. A lot of these probes might actually die here as well. Colossus coming in from the backside. Carriers from the backside here as well. Any storms available? High Templar are on the ground. Gotta do some Purification Novas. Right side explosion. Left side explosion. And Long is forced to retreat. It's 155 to 110 total supply. Vikings trying to fight their way to a victory here, but enough Stalkers on the ground to chase them away. Interceptors too, getting in on the action. Viking trying to kill these carriers by itself. Oh no, there's a friend here, but they're just dying together. Just dying together. Just one of the closest games of StarCraft 2 I've ever cast here at this Into the Void level. Long is just spending his money. I don't know how else to explain what's going on here for Long. He is doing such a good job spending all of his money. He has a lot of gas though, and just robotics facilities killing me. Is killing me. I'm sure ItzDaddy has more bigger things to worry about. ItzDaddy coming up along this right side to this 6th base of Long. Can he get it? Is it going to turn into a base race? Is our question here. I don't actually know, but somebody's got to move. Somebody has to move. Somebody has to go to kill a base, because the armies are in perfect positions to do that without getting stopped, you see. Without getting stopped at all. ItzDaddy's 9th base in the bottom left here is going to die to these Marines. There's really nobody here to stop it at all. Oh, the rest of the army coming around too. It's extra dead now. It's extra dead for sure. ItzDaddy's Nexus is falling. There it goes. Gone. Losing that. Still has a nice mining base up top. Actually has about 3 mining bases here. Terran player, though, not looking too shabby. Several mining bases of his own here along the bottom side. Have we taken every base? We've taken every base on the map at some point. They're not all currently mining because one of them just died, but at some point every base on the map was taken. Still no upgrades on these ground units. Still no further upgrades on the air units as well. Here comes Long. Got his Marines, got his Marauders, got his tanks. Small group of Marines getting obliterated on the high ground. They took the wrong path and got murdered. High ground Colossus against Marines, though. Purification Nova. Storms on the Marines. Left side, right side, middle. High ground Colossus doing pretty good here. Long having a hard time attacking up this hill. Interceptors trying to kill what they can. Purification Nova takes down a Marauder all by its lonesome. SCV's coming in for Long to get in on the action. I don't know where. Are they transferring? I think they might be trying to transfer. And that's another Marine army wiped off the face of the map. Colossus keep dying, but they're still here. They're still here at some level. 19 kills and 23 kills on these Colossus, pushing on in. Oh, this is where the reinforcing Marines are coming, though. That's not good. That's not good news. This base along the bottom side for Long, I think this is his 7th. Under direct assault here as well. And small group from Long trying to join the party. No, Purification Nova getting rid of them, and that's it. A good game out of Long. Long is defeated, and ItzDaddy is victorious in this 34-minute Into the Void. Wow, I thought for sure the Protoss player was in too much trouble. The upgrades weren't good, but he had the better tech. Had the higher tech. I mean, Purification Nova hits were just incredible. 32, 28, and 8 kills on those disruptors. Colossus, 25 and 21 kills each. Carriers, can't see those ones they're making. Carriers have several kills themselves as well. 650 Marines died. That might be a record for Into the Void. 650 Marines died. Wow. Wow. What are we looking at here? For 50,000? 50,000 resources lost for the Protoss player compared to, is that 55? I think it's a 55 for the Terran if my math is not entirely wrong, and I don't think it is. 25 workers lost, 26 workers lost, so dang close on that one as well. And these players, man, they fought as hard as they could, just slugging back and forth. Long was down to 66. Available supply, 8 Marines, 1 Marauder, and 2 tanks. Just wasn't enough against the disruptor shots, against the storms. Where are my Templar? Where are my head Templar at? Those guys were great. They were so good. They're not all dead, are they? They might be all dead. Nope, here they are. Here's one. 4 kills on that one. 0 kills on that one. Slacker. 0 kills on that one. 5 kills on that one. Yeah. So that's it. That's how you beat Terran, is with Storm. It's with Colossus. It's with Purification Nova. Splash, 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 especially if your opponent is going as heavy Terran Marine, as Long did in that game. All right, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Broken and ashamed by what you have done. There is no redemption, and so you must run. And it's taken your heart and broken your soul. You cannot go back until you're made whole. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, there's a light upon you, and you follow it on, looking for a reason and a way to atone. All around you, the planets and stars. You're lost in a maelstrom of a great new unknown. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, and you're running into the void. You go searching into the void. And you're running into the void.